Ethan Kwan, and today we're going to be talking about polar coordinates. What are they, and what's the point? So let's just dive right into it. But before we do, let's kind of dive right into it. So before we do actually dive into it, we're going to have to cover some warning or some prior knowledge things that you might need. So this video will require some prior knowledge. If you do not know some of these concepts, you will have trouble knowing what I'm talking about. So if you don't know what Cartesian coordinates are, or angles are, or what the Pythagorean theorem is, if you don't know trigonometry, and if you don't know how to use a calculator, then you will not understand, or you'll kind of understand if you know a few of these, you will kind of understand what I'm talking about, but you won't really understand it. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so I have a normal Cartesian plane coordinate system here. So let's start with this. Let's just review here. This should all be review. So let's say we want to plot a point. Let's say it's right there. So the way we would write this is it would be that line and this line. So that's the 3 and the 3x and 4y. So this is 3, 4, right? Now, this is in the form x, y, right? So the x coordinate, and then the y coordinate. Alright, so here's a new way of graphing, right? Let's just try something. Let's start at the origin, and let's just turn a certain number of degrees, let's say that much, and let's call that angle A. And then let's go that far, go in that direction, a distance of, let's say, r. So here is our new way of graphing something, right? So all we can do here is we can just write this as r, a, right? R is the distance you go, and a is the angle you turn, right? That's an interesting way of thinking about it. Okay, so now we're going to try and convert this point, 3, 4, into this r, a degrees function. You could do it in radians, but I just find degrees a little bit easier. Okay, so we know this is a right angle, right? So that means we can move this line down here, right? And so now we can use the Pythagorean theorem to figure out r, right? So r is going to be, let's see. So the Pythagorean theorem says that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A is 3 and b is 4, right? So if you remember your Pythagorean triple triangles, you should know that this side is 5. You can test it out if you want. 3 squared is 9, and 4 squared is 16. So 3 squared plus 4 squared is 16 plus 9, which is 25. The square root of 25 is 5, so that's 5, right? So we got the first point, 5 and A. Okay, now to find out the angle, this is going to require a little bit of trigonometry. So let's go to our Soh Cah Toa. This means sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is opposite over adjacent, and tangent is opposite over adjacent, right? So that's how we use, well, what's it called? Trigonometry, yes. So to find this, we're going to require a little bit of trigonometry. So we know these two sides, right? And if we go back to Soh Cah Toa, right, these two sides were the opposite and the adjacent, right? So which trigonometric function uses opposite and adjacent? Pause now if you want to figure it out on your own. Okay, so if you want me to tell you the answer, it's going to be tangent. Tangent deals with the opposite and the adjacent. So what we're going to do is we're now going to calculate tangent. So we know those two sides. They are 3 and they are 4. So, and we know that tangent is opposite over adjacent. So tangent of the angle A is 4 over 3, right? Because opposite is 4 and adjacent is 3. So now we can't. Here's the kind of hard part. So from here it's kind of hard because we need to figure out what tangent, what angle. If you take the tangent of what angle will give you 4/3. Now this is kind of hard, so we're going to be using the arctan function or the inverse tangent function. So arctan basically cancels out the tan function. So we're going to cancel that out, right? And we get A is equal to arctan of 4/3. Now I can't do that on my own, but you know what can? A calculator. So I have a calculator down there, right? This is just the Google calculator. You can just search up calculator on Google and you will get this calculator, right? And you can follow along at home with your own scientific calculator. So I'm going to type in inverse and then arctan, right? And then I'm going to type in arctan of 4 and divided by 3, right? And then the bracket, of course. And if we press enter or the equal sign, we get approximately 53.13 and whatever, right? 53.1301, whatever, right? So that's what we have for our answer. Now, remember our equation was in the form R comma A. I don't know why I wrote X there. Okay, so we know that it's 5, comma 53.13 because that's where we got our equation. Now that's a very specific type. Let's go general. So we're gonna just conclude a general way of changing a variable or changing positions from Cartesian, which means just the normal one you've always known, to polar, if you didn't know what this new coordinate system is called. So it's called polar. Okay, so let's just say we have a line, a coordinate system, and we have the point, I don't know, let's call it xy, and we want to turn it to RA. So, the two things we're going to be needing, well, the obvious one is to calculate R, it's going to be x squared plus y squared, right? Because this is xy, right? And, okay, so let's just call that xy, right? So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying to find the angle here. So that means the tangent of A, angle, right, is equal to y over x, right? That makes sense because y is the y coordinate, aka the up and down, and x is the adjacent, or the x coordinate, right? That's adjacent and up, which is y, which is also opposite. Now, this is not the coordinate system. This is not the grid system we're familiar with. There's a new type of coordinate system graphing called polar coordinates. And this is the graph we use. It's very interesting. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video about polar coordinates. So I hope to see you at howtodosoluthan.com and see you next time.